Hello there, very good evening and a warm welcome to the news live on Rupavahini Channel I. I'm Sharam Mascarenhas.
A very good evening indeed. I'm Charity Vinuparachi and now let's move on to the headlines for tonight's news. A group of suspects including Satyapali's daughter arrested with heroin and 60 million rupees. The Prime Minister says Central Expressway will be extended up to Dambulla. Health authorities request the public not to take children to common places unnecessarily. Steps have been taken to provide farmers with pesticides needed to eliminate Sena caterpillar expeditiously. A vegetable cultivation that has moved beyond traditional farming. The World Health Organization says it will work with the United Kingdom to eliminate new coronavirus variant.
On to the stories in detail now, starting off with local news. Police media spokesman DIG Ajit Rohana says that the daughter of the former organised criminal gang member Satyapali is among the suspects arrested with nearly 60 million rupees and 310 grams of heroin. Police Anti-Narcotic Bureau conducted the raid yesterday in Malabay area. Police media spokesman DIG Ajit Rohana said that the first woman to be arrested during the raid is the daughter of the deceased Satyapali, who was linked to many crimes. He said that a person believed to be in Dubai who was living in Valigama is operating the racket.
කට ආසන්න මුදල සමග මේ ජාවාරම මෙහෙවනු ලබන්නේ වැලිගම ප්‍රදේශයේ පදිංචිව සිටි දැනට ඩුබායි රාජ්‍යයේ සිටින බවට විශ්වාස කරන තරා පුද්ගලයෙක් බවටයි අනාවරණය වී තිබෙන්නේ.
The DIG expressed views about the drug raids conducted since January. He said that the Police Anti-Narcotic Bureau, Police Special Task Force, Navy and the other relevant organizations have taken into custody 1,605 kilograms of heroin, 13,896 kilograms of cannabis and 802 kilograms of ice during this year. He said that 61,300 suspects have been arrested from January 1st up to date in connection with the drug offences.
Rulers always say that they give their support, maximum support, to uplift agriculture. However, the farming community understood recently whether such contribution was received. That is why the government had to show the example is better than percept. More space has been given to the Vistas of Prosperity policy statement President Gotabaya Rajapaksa to agriculture and to uplift the farmers. But due to negligence, the farmers in the recent past, they left cultivating areas. The present government was entrusted with encouraging the farmers to get back to paddy fields and cultivations. The commencement of cultivation lands with intervention of the government added quality and value to the farmers. Although COVID-19 pandemic was an obstacle, the plantation ministry continued its activities. The government's policy is to grow interim crops in the paddy fields that cannot be used. This is the present situation of a paddy field about 200 hectares at Hovagoda in Goa that had been neglected for about 50 years. Minister Ramesh Patrana said that the concept was given by the chairman of the Presidential Task Force for Economic Revival and Poverty Elimination, Basil Rajapaksa. He said that it was done under Soshan system followed by various countries. He said that they were able to launch successful vegetable and fruit cultivation as interim crops to coconut cultivations. He added that the system is being experimented in other areas as the country as well. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa says that the Central Expressway will be extended up to Dambulla.
The Prime Minister mentioned this while attending to hand over the Northwestern Province land deeds under the national program to distribute 10,000 Ranbima land deeds to coincide with the Vistas of Prosperity national policy. The land deeds were handed over in Kurunagala. The program to hand over 1 million Ranbima land deeds is implemented by the Lands Reform Commission. 400 persons without land ownerships were given land deeds yesterday by the Prime Minister. The Prime Minister said that their government is working. He said that when the government is working continuously, the people elect the UMP government. Then they completely stopped the work that was done. Thereafter, they had to start from the beginning again, or else the expressway to Dambulla could have been constructed long time ago. Therefore, the Prime Minister said that the people should remember that all what they do is criticized by the opponents. He said that all good work and bad deeds are criticized. He said that wrong deeds should be criticized. However, the Prime Minister said that the opponents cannot appreciate good work, and that is regrettable. He said that the President had visited villages and has taken measures to solve problems in the villages. He pointed out that it will make easy for the people and the officials to expedite the work. The Prime Minister donated a PCR machine valuing 5.4 million rupees to the Kurunagala Hospital, purchased from the decentralized budget of the Kurunagala Mayor Tushara Sanjeeva. The donation was made on a request from medical officers of the Kurunagala Hospital. State Ministers Arundika Fernando, Lohan Ratwatte, D.B. Herath, Priyanka Rajaratna and public representatives were present on the occasion. Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa opened today the Dr. Roland Silva Memorial Conservation and Research Centre. It has been built adjacent to the Rangiri Damulu Rajamahavihara as a felicitation for the founder of the Central Cultural Fund, Dr. Roland Silva. The Central Cultural Fund has spent 100 million rupees to build the centre. The centre is equipped with lecture halls, auditoriums, digital archives, 2D and 3D conservation units, morale conservation unit, residential facilities for researchers and other facilities. The centre will copy, conserve and maintain data scientifically of the morals from the history of Sri Lanka. Chief Monk of the Rangiri Damulu Rajamahavihara, the Venerable Godagama Mangalathera, the Mahasangha, Minister Janaka Bandara Thenakon, State Minister Vidura Vikramanayaka, public representatives and a group of people were present on the occasion. The Prime Minister visited with the people today Professor Senaka Bandaranayaka Archaeology Field Training School. It has been built at the Sigiri Archaeology premises with the funds from the Central Cultural Fund. 50 million rupees has been spent on the constructions. It is equipped with lecture halls, research laboratories and residential facilities. Professor Senaka Bandaranayaka was the founder director of the Sigiri project.
And here's the local update of the COVID-19 pandemic. The Health Ministry says 28,267 fully recovered COVID-19 patients returned to their homes today. Another 715 COVID-19 recoveries were reported in the country today. 30 fully recovered COVID-19 patients who were receiving treatments at the COVID-19 treatment centre in Polonnaruwa district were discharged today. 34 COVID patients who were sent to Pinnavala COVID-19 Centre, Rambukana District Hospital and Undukoda Regional Hospital completely recovered and left today. The percentage of fully recovered COVID-19 patients in the country is at 76.55. The percentage of active patients currently receiving treatment is at 22.99. 11,277 fully recovered COVID-19 patients have left hospital since the beginning of this month until today. The highest number of 785 fully recovered COVID-19 patients returned to their homes on the 16th. Another 262 corona patients were identified in the island today. Out of this number, 232 out of them are close associates of the patients in the Paliaguda cluster. The remaining 30 are patients of the contacts of prison cluster. Identifying infected persons through antigen test on the people selected randomly who are living in the Western Province was implemented today as well. Accordingly, 2 infected persons after 225 tests conducted at Dannovita area on Colombo Candy Road have been found today. Passengers travelling on high-level and low-level roads were subjected to sudden antigen test today. 2 males and a woman have been found to be infected after testing 159 persons. 25 COVID patients have been found from Gampala area today. 24 out of them are owners and employees of meat stalls. Accordingly, meat stalls and 12 other trade stalls were closed in Gampala area. 300 contacts of the patients have been sent for self-quarantine. The number of COVID patients from the isolated Atalugama area has increased to 734. That number includes 130 found yesterday. Meanwhile, 6 COVID-19 deaths reported yesterday. The Director General of Health Services said that they are residents of Colombo 14, Veeragula, Colombo 15, Colombo 10, Kirivattuluwa and Bandaragama areas. They are in the ages of 39, 68, 77, 76, 88 and 83. 361 COVID-19 patients have been reported from Peruvula Medical Officers Division. The majority of them have been reported from Magona East, Magona West and Akkaramale, 3 Gramaseva divisions of Peruvula. Health authorities imposed travel restrictions to those areas. All business establishments in Magona town were closed today until further notice. Kalutara South, Hill Street, Kure Road, Church Road and Dhammarama Road have been isolated from last night due to reporting of 150 COVID-19 patients during last 2 days of near Kalutara town. Meanwhile, the National Operations Centre to prevent the spread of COVID-19 and the Thunduwa West and Thunduwa East Gramiladahari divisions of Indira were isolated from yesterday. Director of the Lady Ridgeway Hospital in Colombo, Dr. G. Vijayasuriya requested the public not to take children to unnecessarily festivals and on shopping. Hatton Zonal Education Director Preshitharan says that Norwood Tamil School in Hatton, which was closed for 14 days to the spread of coronavirus, will be open tomorrow. The school premises will be disinfected today. Meanwhile, Education Minister Professor GLPD said that steps should be taken to reopen schools as soon as possible under the health guidelines.
Deputy Director General of the Public Health Services, Dr. Hemantha Herath, says that the COVID-19 fatality rate in Sri Lanka is relatively lower than the other countries struggling to mitigate the spread of the outbreak. He further added that the efforts taken by the government and the health sector has largely contributed towards the lower fatality rate in the country.
We know that there are several actions, including the checking of or random checking of travellers out of the western provinces taking place, and I urge the public firstly to restrict their movement not only in and out of western provinces but also within the western province as well as within the other provinces, and try to restrict their activities to the least possible distance and confine yourselves to your homes as much as possible, and support this endeavour of the government to control this disease. And there has been a request to allow the tuition classes to start, and this is being discussed, and that will be again seriously considered by the government to make sure that if that is being allowed, there will be least damage or adverse effects to the public and the society at large, as well as to the students who will be participating in these processes. There has been certain reports that a large number of students are admitted to hospitals with eye-related problems or to the eye clinics, and some people are speculating whether this is due to the online education, but we cannot say or give an opinion in this regard at this moment. Firstly, we have to verify whether such reports are there, and if such increase is there, we'll have to again scientifically evaluate and see whether there is any relationship to this mode of education and the complaints made by the students. So that will be done by the Ministry of Health when it is confirmed that there has been an excess number of complaints from students related to their eyesight or related to their vision. I also want to emphasize that our case fatality rate, that is compared to the number of cases, the number of deaths are relatively low. and this is incompatible with most of the countries which have successfully controlled the disease compared to others who are struggling to control it. And this is mainly because still we have managed to confine our cases to a relatively young age group, and also we are trying our best to prevent this disease going into the high risk groups like elderly people and also the people with other diseases. And as a result, we have been able to maintain this so-called very low case fatality rate. And sometimes people use the same argument to ask for relaxation because we have high number of cases and less deaths, and why should we take this disease seriously? But we have to keep in our mind that our death rates are not because of any natural thing, but because we are taking every possible efforts to control it and then to prevent the disease going into vulnerable groups. So therefore, relaxation, if at all, if we are going to do, need to be done after scientific evaluation and under very controlled conditions.
On to more local news. The National Operations Centre to Prevent the COVID-19 says that isolation of several areas will be lifted tomorrow. However, several other areas will be isolated from tomorrow. Salamulla Gramaniladari Division of the Vallampitiya Police Area and Kokila Road Vallavatta Police Area of the Colombo District will be removed from the isolation status from 5 a.m. tomorrow. All other isolated areas in the Colombo District will continue to be isolated. Naiduwa area of the Keravallapitiya Gramaniladari Division of the Vattala Police Area, Gangaboda Gramaniladari Division of the Paliyagoda Vilegoda North Gramaniladari Division of the Kiribathgoda Police Area of the Gampa District will be removed from isolated status from tomorrow 5 a.m. Nelligavatta and Purana Kottuvatta of the Paliyagoda Gangaboda Gramaniladari Division, Sri Jayanti Mawatha of the Vilegoda North Gramaniladari Division of the Kiribathgoda Police Area have been isolated from tomorrow 5 a.m. All other isolated areas of the Gampa district will remain to be isolated areas. Minister Ramesh Pathirana has requested the farming community not to sell unmatured turmeric and ginger expecting a small profit. The minister said it will obstruct to achieve expected targets. There was a shortage of turmeric in the local market from the beginning of this year. Certain people proposed to the government to import turmeric stocks as a solution. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa act in according to the vistas of the Prosperity Policy Statement did not allow to import turmeric. He told local farmers not to hesitate to grow all crops which can be cultivated in the country. The president assured the farmers to give a stable price for their produce. Therefore, the farmers took in to grow turmeric, and as a result, turmeric cultivations have spread out in the country. People are also growing turmeric in their gardens. As a result, it will be possible to save in future 150 million rupees spent annually to import turmeric. However, it can be seen that farmers have been tempted to sell unmatured turmeric when harvesting can be done within next few weeks. This has led to a situation where the expected turmeric harvest would not be received.
And meanwhile, the government has taken steps to provide pesticides needed to destroy Sena caterpillars. This was revealed when Minister S.M. Chandrasena inspected several farmlands affected by Sena caterpillars in the Anuradhapura district. Minister S.M. Chandrasena inspected the maize cultivation at Nachiduwa, Hidogama in Anuradhapura. Sena caterpillars have affected cultivations in the area. The liquid containing the virus to destroy the caterpillars has been sprinkled to cultivations in the area, and it has shown successful results. Minister S.M. Chandrasena informed Agriculture Minister Bahindananda Ludgamage over the telephone about the prevailing situation. And meanwhile, the electoral seat conference series organised in connection with the 4th anniversary of Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna under the theme Siv Desa Suraki Siv Wasarak held successfully today. The conference was commenced yesterday while following health protective measures. The Tangol electoral seat conference held under the patronage of Minister Namal Rajapaksa, State Minister G.V. Chanaka, Hambantota District MPs Upul Galapatti, Ajit Rajapaksa and party members were present on this occasion. Celebrating the 4th anniversary of Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna electoral seat conference of Akmimana took place today at the Pradesh Sabha Hall. The conference was held under the patronage of Minister Ramesh Pathirana and a large group of people attending following health guidelines. The electoral seat conference of Rathwata took place at Matale Mahatma Gandhi Conference Hall today. It was held under the patronage of opposition leader of Ukwal Pradesh Sabha Samantha Dharmasena. The Polonnaruwa seat conference was held today headed by State Minister Roshan Ranasinghe. A group of people including MP Amarkirti Athukorala attended the conference. Bandaravale electoral seat conference of Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna was held yesterday at Municipal Council Hall. It was held under the patronage of MP Sudarshana Denipitiya. Binneri electoral seat conference took place yesterday. MP Amarkirti Athukorala organised the conference. State Minister Siripara Gamlath was present on this occasion.
What has become known popularly as the Christmas time is a special, vibrant planetary conjunction easily visible in the evening sky over the next 2 weeks as the bright planets Jupiter and Saturn come together, culminating tomorrow night. In 1623, the solar system's two giant Jupiter and Saturn travelled across the sky. Jupiter caught up to and passed Saturn in an astronomical event known as Great Conjunction. It has been nearly 400 years since the planets passed this close to each other and nearly 800 years since the alignment of Jupiter and Saturn occurred at night. The planets will be easily seen with the unaided eye by looking towards the southwest just after sunset. It is expected to occur between 6:30 and 7:30 p.m. tomorrow. Space scientist Anura C. Pereira says that the people should not entertain unnecessary fears of natural disasters due to this incident.
An environmental friendly program has been launched at Nuwara Elia Tourism Development Zone on the instructions of the President and the Prime Minister. Accordingly, renovations to the race course commenced today. Nuwara Elia race course has not been developed for many years. Therefore, the new project commenced at a cost of 700 million rupees. Plans have been made to build 3 playgrounds for cricket, football and rugby in the centre of the race course. It has also been planned to build a racing track for motor vehicles connecting the race course and the Gregory Lake. Minister C.B. Ratnayaka, Parliamentarian S.B. Dissanayaka and a group of people attended the event. A solution has been provided to the drinking water problem of Haguranketa Saliyapura people by extending the irrigation network of Muloya by the Water Board. 4 million rupees will be spent on this project. 250 families will be benefiting from this community water project. 73 families of Uvaparanagama, Alagolla, Gampahavatta and Kirkills identified at landslides risk areas have been given lands. The government has spent 120 billion rupees to provide them with lands. The families were identified under the resettlement program of the Disaster Relief Services Centre. Handling of the land plots took place at Uvaparanagama Divisional Secretariat. Boralanda Pitapola Eltota Road is being developed by laying concrete. 6.5 billion rupees will be spent on this project. The development activity is launched under the patronage of Minister Nimal Siripala de Silva.
A study program has been commenced to observe the path of migrant birds arriving in the country due to winter. A study has been commenced by the Bird Science Study Circle of the Colombo University. They are expected to gather information using GPS and GSM technology. The satellite technology will be used for this study. This is the first time such a project is implemented in South Asia. Migrant birds arrive in the country from about 30 countries after October. A small equipment with satellite communication facilities will be fixed on the birds selected randomly. The equipment functions with solar power. One such equipment values $2,000. 35 such equipment will be fixed on the birds.
And meanwhile, Venerable Athurale Ratanathera says that he was able to obtain the parliamentary seat by overcoming all challenges. During a media briefing in Colombo today, he said that he would take oaths as a member of parliament at next sittings.
විශේෂයෙන් මම කියන්න මේ මන්ත්‍රී දුරේ
Venerable Aturali Ratanathera said that we were able to obtain one parliamentary seat after competing the last general election amid challenges. He said that he was able to get it with the agreement of all stakeholders. He said if they had to go to courts, they would have to wait for a long period of time. He pointed out that there would have been a great injustice for the people who voted for them. Therefore, he said that the decision was taken. Venerable Ratanathera said that it is not a single digit MP post, but it has a weight of 100 members. And with that, we conclude tonight news. Do it tomorrow at the very same time. Stay safe. Good night.